Matthew Dowd. I wanted to go into the screen and give Matthew Dowd a slap on the back and a big hug and saying thank you for not jumping on that bandwagon that is just there attacking Joe Biden because he went in and left Afghanistan in a disorderly manner. I tell you what, I don't know how it could possibly have been more orderly, to tell you the truth. When things like this happen, that is just how they react. I'm from Central America, my folks. I understand how these things work. Now, did they do the best they could? Did they tell the Europeans as much as they should? Did they tell all these other people what maybe they should have? Probably not. But you know what? The converse is generally true as well. We could bring up many instances in history where that is a reality. But the way the way the establishment Democratic part of the party has come down on Joe Biden is nothing more than the representation of the military-industrial complex saying, we got to make sure this doesn't happen again, because if you keep shutting down bases overseas, the military-industrial complex is gone. There is absolutely no reason why Biden should be under attack. If there's anyone that would be attacking Biden right now, you would think it would be just Republicans trying to make a point. But instead, those of us on the left, on the far left, are the ones coming to the rescue. Senor Biden, thank you for getting out of Afghanistan. And you know what? Yes, we want to bring all those people who helped along the best we can as well. Absolutely so. But to think, let's listen to Matthew Dowd, because I think this is more important, and then we'll take it on the other side. Because we need to learn. Progressives, well, it's not progressives really. Democrats need to learn that if you're going to win, if you're going to form a coalition, you make that coalition be functional, and you don't form a circular firing squad.
I think that this decision to leave Afghanistan has the support of a wide swath of both people that may have voted for the ex-president and obviously the Biden coalition. This president wants to keep the coverage and the conversation around the decision to leave. Obviously, there are other things going on, but your point is that Democrats don't do the whole circling of the wagons that Republicans do. Explain.
This has become such a predictable thing that I've observed over the years, and now, as you know, I've been very critical of the Republicans, but the Democrats, time and time and time again, keep acting as if they're going to play by the old rules of we're going to all be nice to each other, and we're going to do this, and we're going to back off, and we're going to feel guilty about stuff, and we're going to respond with a committee, and we're going to do this. And Republicans could care less about any of that, right? They could care less. Democrats, we've noticed every single time there's some pushback on some crisis or some situation, not all Democrats, many Democrats just fold. And I think this is a point in time where they should be standing up vociferously in the midst of this. And obviously there's questions to be asked about everything that's gone on in the last 72, 96 hours related to Afghanistan. But that's not what this is really fundamentally about right now. That's not what this is about. And I keep raising the question of we're focusing on this issue, asking the questions that need to be asked. Great. All of that's fine. But we're in the middle of losing our democracy at home. Right. And the Democrats, how many months and weeks did it take till finally a committee has been put together? We still haven't. We saw one day of hearings, and we've not seen anything else anymore from what happened on January 6th. They don't seem to have a capability of standing up for Joe Biden in a really strong, forthright manner in the midst of this and saying, listen, Joe Biden's right about this. We've been here 20 years. It's a mistake. The building's been falling down. We've been trying to put it together by patchwork. Enough's enough. We've lost too many American lives in Afghanistan for us to stay any longer. That's what they ought to be arguing about. But again, Democrats, if you see it in sex scandals, what happened to Andrew Cuomo, you see it in almost every single issue. They jump first, and I agreed with the Andrew Cuomo resignation, but Republicans never do any of that. And so, as I said, it's pretty clear Republicans feel zero shame on anything, zero shame on anything. Democrats feel it way too quickly and back off way too quickly, when right now they should be standing up for President Biden in the midst of what's going on in the country.
Do you know how you get minority rule? Do you know how a minority of this country can maintain rule? Why they have the Supreme Court? why they have in as much as they don't have a majority in the Senate, why they can control a whole large part of the agenda? Because in as much as progressives and Democrats have mostly all the things in common, except for a few things, certain kinds of social policies, but most of the other things they have in common. And they fail to, what did Matthew Dowd say? Circle the wagon, unlike the right wing compared to the moderate Republicans, no matter what. They don't agree on much, but they circle the wagon for a cause. Listen, it's not all that difficult to win. Especially, it's not all that difficult to win when the policies that you support are the policies supported by most Americans. Now that we have the mainstream media, many Democrats attacking Joe Biden for how the first 2 or 3 days of the extraction out of Afghanistan is going, in as much as it's getting much better, much smoother right now. When you have them come down and attack that way, it is hard to save face and come back and say, you know what? The guy's doing all right after all. Again, and this is coming from somebody that is way left of Joe Biden. Somebody that wants a whole lot more policies than I know Joe Biden wants to provide, but that we intend to force him to provide. Folks, winning ain't all that difficult. Strategy is what's important. And right now, there's a hell of a lot of that lacking right now. We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead, number 1, subscribe to our channel, and number 2, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.